Germ, you OD.
And we're live. Welcome back, everybody, and nobody at all. This is the Party Chat Podcast, side by side edition.
The side by side, you know how we do. As you can see by the screen for you guys, we got the at handles below. So if you want to chit chat it up with us on Twitter, as we are becoming more active there on Twitter. Barca, West Ham, Raiders, Saints, anime, porn, whatever you want to talk about, we cover it there on Twitter.
What was that last one?
Don't worry about it. Mr. Candy Cane in your ass.
Oh, you found it. It was good, wasn't it? That was good. I'm glad you found it. I was hoping you. I was like, when somebody listens back, they're gonna be dying about that because it killed me in the moment. But please go back and listen to that episode. I believe it was 33.5. It was a great time. We discussed favorite Christmas movies. That'll be about the part you can find out about Candy Cane Anal Play, if that's your thing. This is already going crazy. So what we are actually here to discuss today is there's been a madness. There's been a madness everywhere. Everywhere as far as on the field. From what West Ham produced since we've last had this side by side, and also I heard from a little birdie on what used to be a little birdie app somewhere that there were some things going on in Barcelona that somebody wasn't happy about, huh?
Yeah, Hansi Flick isn't too happy about it, but me, myself, and I, we are all not happy about it.
What's going on, man? Break it down for us. I saw the tweet, but didn't read too deep because I wanted you to walk me through on the live here.
Yeah, so to basically break it down to everybody and nobody, what's going on with Barcelona. As you know, Dani Olmo, one of the free agents or one of the transfers that we picked up, after the Euros, and then Pau Victor, the forward as well, picked him up. They were able to get registered to the beginning of the season due to players being injured. Now those players are healthy, good to go. So now they need to be registered in the way that they're supposed to, and being able to pay it. And that's where Barcelona has been struggling. So they don't have the funds necessary to basically pay Pau Victor and Dani Olmo's registration to get them registered. But what they ended up doing, what Laporta ended up doing, was selling VIP seats to Saudi and Dubai to generate the funds necessary to register them. But the hiccup now is all the banks were closed because of the holidays. So now it's now they have to go to court and do a whole bunch of other shit just to get two of their players registered. But I mean, shout out to Dani Olmo. We see a little bit more loyalty on the football side of it as opposed to the NFL side of it, as we were talking about, Alvin Kamara and that other episode. But
33, by the way, for anybody who's out there listening, I believe it is. Check it out on YouTube, the Party Chat Podcast 1. Yeah, don't hold up two fingers. You're going to confuse somebody out there, and it's not going to be their fault. It will be, but
if they go to 11, that's fine. That's another banger. I don't remember what it is, but hey, give me the title. I'll tell you.
It's okay. We drop random episodes on the Twitter. So
Mm-hmm.
if you find your way over there, you'll find random episodes. Anyway, as you were saying, we
Oh
have more
yeah.
loyalty
Oh yeah,
this side
loyalty.
of it than the
So
NFL side.
yeah, so going back to Dani Olmo, as any player, especially of his caliber, any club would want his service, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
And
sure would.
there's definitely a lot of clubs that are, keeping an eye out on the situation and what's going on. But Dani Olmo has come out and said like, yes, I understand the situation. I get what's going on, but I I I only want to play for Barcelona. So we'll work through
Cue the
whatever.
music.
Yeah, we'll work through whatever we need to do to work through. But this is who I want to play for. So again, respect to him for you know who knows if he's just saying it just to say who, but it's a whole new world. It's a whole different generation nowadays. But yeah, so we'll see how things play out for Dani Olmo, Pau Victor, and Barcelona. See if they can get that situation fixed and handled. So
Absolutely.
we'll be keeping an eye out in the next coming days and weeks. So that'll be interesting. It's never a dull day in Barca land, even during the winter
No,
break and
that's
New Year.
nice. That's nice
Beautiful.
because it's definitely dull days over in Hammerland. Um,
I mean, you got some games played, but yeah, last game played versus Liverpool was
Sweet mother of Christ. It was
what a showing.
a walking of the dog. Um,
And Liverpool was the one
oh
doing the
yeah, we didn't
walking.
win. Yeah, we didn't win. We were the dogs in that one. Facts. We were the dog and the water, as a matter of fact, if we're being honest. It was embarrassing. Um, uh, frightful, dreadful. Um, what's the way? It put me in a melancholy. Um, a malaise. Some would say, if you're really pulling from the old Webster's. You know what I mean? And all this cattywampus. You know,
Cattywampus.
surrounding the team with Michael Antonio and the car wreck, and then the manager, and then this and that, and then now, Jared Bowen has broken his foot. So as if it's raining, it's pouring, and now it's cats and dogs. I mean, it's just coming down,
The
man.
fat man is fucking
Um,
snoring, and he won't get the fuck out the way.
Batman, Batman is beating the shit out of my team, is what it feels like, dude.
He's having a good
And we
old
have
grand
weird
time.
not giving up information, and he just keeps on putting the hands on every time. He's like, "Where's he at?" We're like, "No,
Bam.
another one, another one. Where? Another one."
Snap his
He just
arm.
won't give up.
Bam.
Yeah, foot in this case, but either way, it's been rough out here, man. Liverpool really walked us. The only thing is just it's nice to say that
They are.
as of right now, they're probably one of the more complete teams in the Premier League. That's I mean, all around.
I mean, they're at the top of the table for a reason. As we were speaking off air, Mo Salah, he's putting in a performance, not and
I
not
mean,
not just against West Ham,
not just against West Ham.
but
That's what I said too.
mm-hmm,
I feel better that it's against everybody, not us. And yeah, I mean, hey, shit, he keeps us up for the remainder of the season, this kind of thing. Like I wouldn't be surprised not to see his name as a finalist and for the Ballon.
mm-hmm,
Um, it's cool for them, shit for us. And I think now, especially with this injury to Jerry Bowen, especially with the way, Michael Antonio get better, get well, all that good stuff. Especially with that happening as well. I think with the transfer window now being open here for this first few days, and I think really all eyes in that office that aren't, watching the progression of this manager now need to be focused on this transfer window. We need a striker, man, and not just a striker. We need like world class, go spend the money striker. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to, if we have any intention of honestly elevating this team, Don't get me wrong, they could probably rebuild that back line sooner rather than later. But but at the present, I think that the spot that we're honestly the weakest at on the team would be striker. Now, of course, don't get me wrong. There's still Nicholas Fulkrug or what? Look, the German dude. Another striker up there, but he's kind of been at half speed. Not exactly match fit. And I think the other thing that West Ham at the moment is probably looking for is a striker that's not a 70-minute guy. You know what I mean? Like they're looking for somebody that's doesn't need to be one of those subs when the time arises. You know what I'm saying? Um, crazy enough, they're gonna have to go out and spend some money. Not just on one striker. We're gonna need like to load up. Um, they're also, another thing, and this is what I've just seen in the news floating around. They're really looking to add some pace to the midfield. So that's another move they're going to be looking to make in this January transfer window. So strikers and pace, man. That's the first two places they're starting here. Um, which, once again, um, here we are, transfer window, manager up in question,
That's
moves to be made.
that's what honestly makes it difficult going forward. Is the question mark at the manager position. Because while yes, you can, go make moves for a forward. Get yourself a Victor Gyökeres. You know. Mm-hmm.
That boy bad. That boy bad,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Mm-hmm. That boy Cole.
Like cold as hell. But they're also, I did see some news today. It was like, Man United is going to make a pretty big push to bring him in. Um,
I don't know if he'll go there. We'll see. We'll
yeah, I
see.
don't think so, dude. I don't think he winds up in the Premier League, man.
I think he ends up
I,
in La Liga or he goes to fucking what's it called?
Series A.
Bayern or what's
You
the
don't think he'd
other
wind up at like,
Dortmund? There we go. Sorry,
oh,
Tyler. Forgot your team. but, but for that's going back to the manager position in the transfer window. I think your main priority should be a game changing midfielder. Like while it's in Alvarez, El Martinez is a solid player. While Paqueta is a creative player, you don't have anyone that really dictates and controls and really connects the the attack and the defense. You don't have no one that you basically have no brain running anything. You got a bunch of body parts running all over the place with no fucking say on where to go and what to do.
mm-hmm.
So it's like I feel that's where you need to spend most of your money. Is find that game changing midfielder that can handle a good majority of what the team needs, because that'll definitely, again, yes, it's shitty. You don't know what the manager going forward is, if it's going to be the same guy or is going to be someone new. But regardless of who it is, if you have a game changing player, especially in the midfield, that goes a long way, because you already have
Makes the search a lot easier.
you already have a defensive midfielder who can provide defensive structure and support there. You still need to upgrade the defensive line. You
Sweet
know,
Christ Almighty, son.
goalkeeper's not bad. He can be shaky from here and
Well,
there, but
here's the thing about it. He's the oldest player in professional football, just about. So and the thing is like, yeah, our second goalkeeper's, young. Ariel is nice. He's
mm,
young, but he's a little wish washy. You know what I mean? So it's like might be another place you really start having to, maybe there's somebody in in the 18s or in those 20, U21s or something that's ready for that call up. But that's another position they're gonna have to look to fill as well, man. Because I tell you what, Fabianski is, I mean, he's right on the edge of the
Mm.
retirement cliff, dude. He should be gone
Yeah, when in my football manager career for West Ham, I got rid of him
immediately.
immediately.
I do the
Yep.
same thing every single time. I write I write Areola for that first season, and then I just look to make like the first transfer window. I immediately just start fucking cycling everything
Okay,
out, dude.
yep. You gone, you
That's
gone, you
funny.
gone.
That's
That's it
funny,
for
funny, funny.
you.
That's funny though.
So
Oh, dude.
it'll be interesting to see what the hell they do. Barcelona obviously too broke to fucking sign anyone, even though they are always linked to Victor Gyökeres, but that's just that's a long
He
shot.
wants to come for free, man. You know what it
Yeah,
is. He doesn't want to get paid anything. You just got to pay his team fee, and then he'll be there for the next 12 years.
I
And
mean
that's his plan,
they're still
is to
talking
beat all
about
of Messi's records at
Kimmich,
Barcelona.
Kimmich still wanting to fucking go to Barcelona. Like
Mm.
quality players, Hansi Flick will definitely find a way to
Rein him in.
rein them in. But I mean, we see the struggles with Barcelona recently, and it's honestly pretty easy to tell why they're struggling. And it's the style of play that they play. It's a very high intense, high press, gegen press style. So it requires a lot from your players. And as I tell my players, all the time is, while I do expect you to give me 100% for 90 minutes, that's just humanely impossible no matter how good in shape you are. Like that's too much fucking ground to cover. There's too much distance to cover, especially at that high intensity and especially at those
This
levels.
high altitude. Jesus
Yeah,
Murphy, dude.
like I'm not I'm not stupid in being realistic with what to actually expect, and it's the same thing for these players. While they are professional players, while they're in peak condition and they do get the best treatment, best everything, they're still human. They still get fucking
Mhm.
tired, so
Yep.
their body
Yep.
will wear and tear is a thing, especially when you're playing at that high intense level for so long. And that's one thing that Hansi Flick has shown, that he doesn't really have a rotation, like his backups aren't, he doesn't trust them too much. That's why you see Lewandowski playing a lot of the games. That's why you see Yamal playing a lot of the games. Rafinha playing a lot of the games. Pedri, he's been hurt for ever. I mean, he's been playing the last month. Frankie De Jong just came back from injury, but you're missing Araujo. You're missing Christensen. Um, it's the injuries pile up, and when you can't rely on your first 11, especially playing at that style, it's going to bite you in the ass, especially with how high of a
Mm-hmm.
line that they play.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
it's
mean, especially, and the thing is too is like, I mean, if the way that you're explaining this to me is like, you guys are second in the Champions League table right now. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
So there's still quite a bit of football left ahead. I think for some of this, and if you're continuing to ride some of these players, man, it's going to be kind of hard to win these big Champions League games down the stretches. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Or do you think this is part of the plan, or do you think this is just kind of like a failure for future planning?
It's not. It's kind of hard to say it's failure for future planning, because Barcelona has been in such a deep shithole that the previous owner before Laporta put him in.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name, but like he once he sold Neymar, I mean he ended up spending, I think, what was it, like over 100 mil for Coutinho? What was he for Barcelona? Nothing. Uh, who else did they get? Uh, I'm blanking, but they ended up spending a bunch of money on a bunch of players that didn't do
Anything at all?
anything for Barcelona. I mean, they got the other one, Dembele. The fuck did Dembele
Ah,
do
yeah, yeah.
besides always be injured? You know, so it's like you spend all these money, you put the franchise in poverty. I mean, look at all the leverage that Laporta's pulling now. All the shit that he's having to sell as far as Barcelona equity. Just to register players, just to have a team for his coach, which is
Hmm.
it puts your club in a bind. So it's 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 hard because he's relying a lot of on his youth, and while they are performing, again going back to our previous side by side episode, is no matter how good they are, they're still kids. They will make mistakes,
Yep,
you know.
absolutely,
So it's like
absolutely.
it's just I guess this season are you I guess me personally as a Barcelona fan, am I expecting a treble? Fuck no. You know? But I am expecting them to compete in any of the trophies that they're competing for, you know? But I think they do prioritize one or the other, whether that's the Champions League, if they feel like they're doing a lot better in the Champions League and they have a better chance of winning the Champions League, then
Hmm.
I think they put all their eggs in one basket towards that. Then you start seeing Hansi Flick start resting and start using more of the academy players, in La Liga games going forward, or vice versa, and if they feel that La Liga is more attainable than the Champions League, then they'll probably put all their eggs in that basket. But
Hmm.
at least for this season, yes, it's been a good season. Hansi Flick has been very promising, but again, you're relying on teenagers to carry Barcelona.
Yeah, that's a tall order.
Yeah, we're not
So that's some big shoes to fill, man.
we're not talking about the Colorado fucking Rapids here.
Yeah. Well, who's Barcelona's next game? When do you guys come back from this winter break here?
Let's pull it up. Now got that. Let's see. Barcelona, Barcelona. Make sure. Oh, they actually play tomorrow in the Copa del Rey versus Barbastro. Very weak team, so we'll probably see a bunch of again academy players. But then they do play. When is it? January 8th on Wednesday versus
Okay.
Athletic Cub. And then we get back to La Liga competition on January 18th versus Getafe. I got a little love for Getafe.
Gotcha.
You
So,
know,
well, let's see. For facts, I know this. I know West Ham will be playing Manchester City tomorrow.
ooh,
So this could be their this could be their get right game. You know what I mean? They
Man
could come in
Cities.
there and give us an absolute hammering, turn us over and do it slow, or speed their way through this and make it real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and put them right back on track to where they were. Um, who knows, man? That's my first guess.
It's
This could also be West Ham's first chance in a long time to at least slip a good draw in there versus Man City, which I'll
I
take.
I like my chances versus with West Ham, man, because it's not just like a slump that Man City is going through, because if you go back to when Pep took over with Man City and you look at his rosters, they were always between 18 to 19 players, so it was
Hmm.
always a very small roster. So that gives you as a coach a lot of control over those players and what's going on, and all that. You get to build a better relationships one on one with each one, as opposed to most clubs. They have over 25 players on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
So while Man City has been able to, just dominate for so long, that is because of the small roster. But now we're seeing the, really going back to the Hansi Flick and that high intensity thing. Man, Pep is a very and high demanding manager as well. Like he demands a lot from his players. His style of play isn't lazy, So
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing a lot of injuries with Man City right now. He's having to rely on a lot of youth players, and again, teenagers playing in the Premier League. No matter how good you are, you're still just a kid. You will fuck up. You will make mistakes, and West Ham can definitely capitalize and add to it. And if not, just come out with the draw, which I think would still pretty beneficial
It'd be a win.
for West Ham.
Absolutely. No, yeah. So Man City tomorrow, and it looks like next Friday we'll be back in action in the third round of the FA Cup, facing Aston Villa. Um, I'm not gonna lie, we're getting waxed, big dog.
That's not gonna be a good
Is what it
time.
is. Yep, chalk it up. Next on Tuesday, January 4th. What the
What was the
fuck?
FA
Tuesday,
Cup?
January 14th. What?
Was it for the FA Cup or some shit?
The Tuesday? No,
No.
no. That's the Friday. Friday, January 10th is the FA Cup third round match. And we're again on Tuesday the 14th, but that's not an FA. That's just a Premier League match
On a
versus
Tuesday?
Fulham. Tuesday at
Hell
12:30.
yeah.
Looks like a game I'm going to get paid to watch. Appreciate it, bosses. Um,
Shout out, boss.
definitely getting paid to watch that. Yeah, man. So we should, I mean, I think out of these next three games here, at least the next two league, Premier League games that we're gonna play, I would like to say I'd like to see 4 points out of this at least. Um, Hard to call, man. I feel like the last time, I feel like every time we play Fulham, it's just a crapshoot. Um,
Toss up.
yeah, man. I think the last time we played, we actually drew. Fulham wound up drawing back sometime late in the game. West Ham just slipped up, gave it away. Um, something about just not finishing somewhere there towards the end of the second half is a real issue with West Ham. Whether finishing be not keeping mental discipline on the defensive side of the ball, or it being that there's clearly you've crushed the opposite team to a point where yes you may be up 1-0, but now you should probably look to like go ahead make this a 2-0 game and really close the door. For some reason that hasn't been West Ham's MO.
Park
Obviously
the
nobody
bus.
expects it with David Moyes, but even once we, clear the manager and come in this Julian Lopetegui, type thing, I feel like same thing. We're just not seeing it here. Some of these games versus teams where you should feel like even with the whole manager situation, if you look at just based on pure talent, roster to roster, you're like, man, we got this. You know what I mean? Like this is probably something that we should get through, no problem. But once again, just not closing games. So, like I said, I want to say that we get 4 points these next two Premier League matches. That's my hope and dream. Realistically, two, if not one.
If we're
Um,
lucky.
if we're lucky. And the thing is too is I mean it's like I was said on the last episode of Side by Side, I believe, is that the work rate that we've got from Jared Bowen here in these past few weeks or in the past few months, really since the season started, I'll just say, has been what's kept any modicum of hope alive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When you start to mix in the way Kudus plays and has been playing, that little bit of spark you get from Pac-Man, that kind of thing, it really just makes it seem like maybe there's a nucleus that somebody could work with. So now seeing that he has the injury, the foot injury that he's dealing with, it really makes me wonder. We're gonna get to see tomorrow, obviously, who's now going to be the energy of the team. You know what I mean? Like, who's
Mm-hmm.
going to drive the pace forward? When the team starts to get in that slump, who's going to be the one to try to spark a play? You know what I'm saying? Press a little deeper to get the ball. If they do get the ball, are they going to, not only be able to get the ball back, but then can they make a run to, you know what I mean? Like energize the rest of the team, dude, to even maybe pull somebody from the midfield up or something like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see if, the team in itself can figure it out, or even just, with the manager situation, does Lopetegui have like some plan, just something in place to see, to bring the spark that the team might need with, Jared Bowen being gone.
How much of
So,
a role do you think Paqueta going forward will have to take?
mm, well,
Do you think he's capable of taking that?
I don't think it fits his play style, to be honest with you. Because I think the thing about Jared Bowen is that he's such a seamless role player as far as being able to play, in two different positions. I want to say positions, but just two different phases of the game as far as that goes. You know what I mean? Like instantaneously going from transition and being the man to go from transition to then take the ball into the attack, you know what I mean? And then from the attack, you're the one he's down the wing. You're either drawing, you're either getting that the corner kick, or he's now worked his way into the box, he's creating some kind of chance, usually for Kudus who's now coming on the other side, you know what I mean? Um I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And really, I think what I would like, the first thing I want to see, bright and early games at 8 a.m. I need to see what the starting 11 is going to be, and I'd like to see a formation with player names attached because I think that'll let us know a lot about, at least if you're a West Ham fan or somebody that understands the direction of the team, it'll probably give you a small idea, at least of the way that the game's going to be headed. So, before I say anything that's going to make me sound like an ass, that's what I'd be waiting on. I want to see the team set up, dude. I need to see formation and who's playing where. And once again, I know it's going to be kind of rough for him too because we're in a lot of foul trouble, man. People been getting carded, people been getting sent off. So who's around? You know what I mean? Like this is it's going to be interesting to say the least, man. So tune in, watch it.
We're gonna have a dog fight.
We very well could. We very well could, dude. So. All right. Well, I mean, what do you got? Anything else for us here tonight?
Well,
Uh-huh.
that is
A good place to sign off.
yeah, it's a good spot to wrap it up. I'd say.
All right. All right, man.
So
Well, shit. From us to you here at the Party Chat Podcast, to everybody and nobody at all. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, follow. Check out those social media handles down there at the
yeah,
bottom. They're
we
all
got
sexy and beautiful.
you know,
Follow along down there. Look, communicate with us. Tell us if we're right. Tell us if we're wrong. Tell us that we're ugly. Whatever it is, I don't care. We need it. Do that, and we will be back. Oh, tomorrow's Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow for a little game time. Tune in on YouTube. We'll be live there and on Twitch, I imagine, or one or the
no,
other.
we'll
Twitch
be
and
on
YouTube. Check
Twitch.
it out. Alex said it. We'll be on Twitch. Game night tomorrow night. Check us
Check it
out.
out. See ya. Love ya. Bye bye.
Peace.